can't shake that guy off. He keeps
reappearing.
Keeps reappearing. Girls.
Hi, Dad.
This film broke me. I just wanted to give Bill a giant hug. How emotionally challenging was it for you guys to immerse yourselves into this story?
I think it helped a lot that we know each other so well for so long, and there's such trust there and such a kind of deep friendship. I think that really helped. You know, they're meant to be married for 20 years, whatever, and you can act that, but it really helps when you have that history. I think, you know, that big intense scene they have in the bedroom, you know, I couldn't have done that with anyone else except for Eileen. So it was huge, I think, for me to have Eileen in it. And I think I don't think that relationship would be as key to the story if you didn't have the history that we have.
I think it feels like a story and a time that is in our DNA, you know? And so I think it was important to do that justice. Because it feels like you can, it's not that far away. You can reach back and touch that time nearly. And so it felt like it was necessary to recall it with an honesty and whatever. And then so much that you get for free because of knowing and loving each other for a long time. So that felt accessible, I guess.
Did you do anything offset to kind of like de-stress?
I remember sitting around just drinking tea and having like a lot of chats, like, and we were all kind of together.
Yeah.
You know, all the girls would be around and everyone was around. I remember I brought the dog down one
That's
day.
right. Yeah. And then I was trying to teach the girls different songs to make us all kind of, you know, bond and have little things or songs that I knew from growing up or whatever. And then they'd be annoying you then with that. It was like a proper family.
It really felt, and the house was so small.
Yeah.
Like we shot in a real house, you know, and we were all squashed in there. And a lot of the time, the kids didn't know when the camera was rolling, you know. So Eileen would be like singing with them, whatever, and then the camera would turn over. So that's why you get that lovely, sort of naturalistic energy of
like
them.
over each other. And
Yeah.
Dogs, tea and singing, that's like the dream.
Yeah.
All Bill wanted for Christmas was a jigsaw. I was wondering for you guys, what are some of the best mementos that you've been gifted from sets?
I'm very unsentimental. I tend to be. I'm getting a bit more sentimental as I get older, and my kids tell me to keep stuff. I mean, I keep scripts, and I get people to sign scripts now, which I didn't do when I was younger.
That's so funny. I'm totally the same in that my husband's really romantic and I'm not. And so
Just chuck everything.
I just throw everything.
Yeah, but like actors, kind of you move on really, really quickly. It's kind of hard to. It's very, very intense, and you know you get very, very close to people, and you get deeply involved in a character, and then you move on.
Yeah.
So maybe we're just really unsentimental,
Horrible people.
horrible people.
Yeah, I'll chuck it. I don't need this.
Yeah, well,
More clutter.
I tend not to collect stuff too much. I have bits and bobs.
That's interesting. We see how Bill is haunted by his past in this. Cillian, is there a particular role of yours that's been hard to shake off or say goodbye to?
Playing Tommy Shelby has been something that I've never experienced before, where I've played the character since the end of 2012. And like, we're going to do the film this year, so that's, I don't know, 12 years or something. So I can't shake that guy off. He keeps
reappearing.
Keeps reappearing. But that's kind of unusual to kind of get older with a character as well. Is kind of strange experience, but very interesting because you bring a different perspective to the character, and that's been interesting. So that's probably the one I can't shake off. Yeah.
Well, we all love him.
Good. Good.
The flashbacks of Bill as a child made me really emotional. Is there a particular project of both of yours that you'd love to show your younger self, to be like, that's going to be you in the future?
It's kind of interesting, I suppose, because your younger self is on a different track. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You never end up where you think you're going to end up or whatever. So if I were to show the younger me in small things, I'd be like, what? That's what I look like? What? There's so much crinoline going on. But yeah, you just don't know. And that's what's amazing about our careers and our industry in itself, that you don't know. It changes on a phone call, or it's quiet for a while, or whatever. So it's always a surprise as to what comes up.
Yeah. I think, I was just thinking about it as you were talking there. I think probably it would be a play what I love about theatre is that it is ephemeral and it disappears. And unless you're in the theatre at that night, you'll never have seen it. But there's many. I mean, even the show we did many years ago, I would love to see that, you know, again. But I don't know. I think that's what is so fantastic about theatre is that it exists and then it disappears.
Come on now, finish up your toast before it gets cold.
Matt Damon is a producer on this. How was it working with him, and is the Oppenheimer love still alive? Please tell me it is.
Yeah, we stay in touch occasionally, but everyone's very busy, you know. But it did really, like, the film wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for Matt and Ben. You know, I gave Matt the script when we were doing Oppenheimer, and AE paid for the film. So, like, those guys have excellent taste, and they were so supportive when we were making the film. They really trusted us. So, yeah, you know, and he's such a legend, Matt and Ben. You know.
I mean, the film's obviously based on the book. When did you guys both first read the book?
I read it during lockdown, actually towards the end of lockdown, because we were rehearsing, myself and my sister were rehearsing a play that Enda had written called The Same, and we were about to go to New York, and she got COVID, and I went in and bought her a copy of Small Things, and I remember posting it under her door, and then, so that was my kind of first experience with it. That it's just so, her writing's so beautiful, so amazing.
Yeah, I read it when it came out as well.
And there's a line in this which is, to get on in this life, there are things you have to ignore. When it comes to acting, is there anything that you guys used to ignore, but now it really helps you and now you use that?
Gosh. I mean, I think the thing that is key, isn't it, that when you figure it out, it unlocks everything, is, I think, listening. You know, when you figure out how to really listen to the other actor or character, that's when everything becomes clear. It certainly was for me when you figure that out. You know?
Yeah. Patsy Rodenberg is this amazing voice coach and Shakespeare tutor, and she has a whole podcast on craft and the craft of acting, and quite often it's the repetition, and you don't just become a good chef overnight. You become a good chef when you keep working at it for 20, 30 years, and it's about the long game. It's always the long game.
Yeah.
And once you keep that in mind, that's the thing that it mightn't be an immediate result, but it's in the bank. You've learned for next time. It's all building towards something.
Well, you're both brilliant in this. Thank you so much for talking to me, and huge congratulations.
Thanks, Mel.
Thank you.
See ya.